He laughed when he said it, and that was what stung the most. His friends leaned back in their chairs, snickering into their beers like my humiliation was part of the entertainment. A girl like you should be grateful I even dated you. The restaurant went silent, that heavy, uncomfortable kind of quiet that stretches too long. My reflection in the window looked pale, ghost-like, as he tossed his napkin onto the table and walked out, leaving me with the bill, the stares, and the bitter taste of cheap wine mixed with regret. I didn't cry. Not there. Not then. Instead, I smiled, a small, deliberate curve of my lips. The kind of smile that unsettles people because they can't quite read it. He took it for surrender. He was wrong. We met 3 years earlier in a photography class. He'd borrowed my camera battery and never gave it back. That became our little joke. How he'd taken something small, but essential. I should have recognized it as foreshadowing. Back then, he was effortlessly charming. The kind of arrogance that masquerades as confidence. He made me feel noticed, admired. He said my quietness was intriguing, my eyes disarming. I believed him. I mistook attention for respect. He used to tell me I had potential. Later, he said he was a lucky one to have me. Funny how admiration curdles into control. The first red flag came dressed as a compliment. You're beautiful when you try, he'd said. You should be more like Chloe. Maybe lose a little weight. Each jab was a tiny incision, deliberate, spaced out, like he wanted to see how long it would take before I started to bleed. By the time I realized I was shrinking, speaking less, apologizing more, it was already too late. He'd built the stage, and I'd been performing my own shame. That night in the restaurant wasn't the beginning of the end. It was the final act. He just didn't know I'd already written a new ending. It began 2 months earlier. He'd left his laptop open. Normally, I respected privacy, but after being gaslit for so long, instinct starts to sound a lot like survival. There was her name, Chloe, dozens of messages, jokes about me, screenshot of my photos with captions like, she thinks she's model material. He'd been mocking me for months, to her, to his friends, to anyone willing to listen. I stared at the screen, numb. Then something inside me went still. Not anger, not heartbreak, just a quiet calm, the kind that comes right before a storm. I didn't confront him, didn't cry, didn't even close his laptop. I just started watching, carefully, methodically. He worked in marketing, freelancing, juggling invoices, hiding incompetence under cluttered spreadsheets. He'd used my name on a few contracts when we were still partners. That was his first mistake. I had access to everything, files, emails, clients. So I made a plan. Not revenge. Correction. I backed up every piece of proof. The falsified quotes, the reused client assets, the stolen copyrighted material. Then I sent it all, anonymously, to the right people. One to the agency he was chasing, one to the brand manager he bragged about, and one to the client he'd overbilled by nearly $5,000. Then I waited. So when he dumped me at that restaurant, it wasn't heartbreak I felt. It was confirmation, the last ingredient. He thought he'd won. But arrogance is a flaw you can turn into a weapon. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. 13 missed calls. His name flashing like a warning. I ignored the first 6. Then I answered. His voice was frantic. What did you do? I sipped my coffee, calm. What do you mean? He unraveled, rambling about clients pulling out, his reputation collapsing, emails being shared. His voice cracked. You don't understand, he said. This could destroy me. I almost laughed. Destroy you? No, this was balance. Out loud, I said, maybe a girl like me should be grateful. And hung up. Within a week, everything fell apart for him. His online portfolio vanished. His friends kept their distance. Chloe posted a story, an apology disguised as reflection. Something about people not being who they pretend to be. He texted again, softer this time. Can we talk? I miss you. I'm sorry. I never replied. Silence is the sharpest blade. A month later, I saw him outside my favorite cafe. He looked thinner, worn. Our eyes met. He hesitated, maybe hoping for forgiveness. I tilted my head, studying him, You really hurt me, he finally said. I smiled again, that same quiet, unreadable smile. No, I told him. You hurt yourself. I just stopped protecting you from it. He didn't respond. Just walked away. Shoulders slumped, the swagger gone. Men like him never expect quiet women to fight back. They mistake calm for weakness. But silence has its own power. It listens. It plans. It waits.